This book made me cry so much in the beginning, I had to stop reading it in public. That being said, I highly, highly recommend. They were not tears of sadness, they were actually tears of connection. Hi, I'm Tara, your artist with a JD. I live on a sailboat and share ideas for climate and ocean justice. This video is about how braiding sweetgrass changed my relationship with my boat, specifically my teak deck. And as always, I'm exploring what it means to live with the world as part of nature, because we are nature. I felt super connected to the author. I know that sounds weird, but it was just the way she writes about home and belonging and her journey as a woman in science. It was a really beautiful start to recognizing and being reminded that we have so much more in common than we have different. Like, obviously, I'm not Native American, but I think that we should really let the things we have in common unite us and embrace our differences and celebrate them, because that is what makes the world rich and exciting. And what really hit me as a great coincidence was I read the chapter on basket making right before I started removing my teak deck. And the basket makers, this isn't just basket weaving, this is basket making from the very, very beginning, the whole process, right? Finding the tree and the relationship that the Pigeon Family has with the black ash trees and how they select a tree, the process. It is a relationship with the forest and with the individual trees. Like, they have probably what scientists would call criteria for selecting a tree for harvest, but it's not really scientific. Like, they request from the forest. They request a tree to be harvested, and they take certain signs as consent, and then if the tree agrees to be harvested, to be made into a basket, they leave tobacco as a reciprocal gift. And I'm in love with considering all our relations as we go about life. And so I was thinking about this chapter as I was removing my teak deck, just thunk, 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 like in the book, how they're carving out splints from the trees, and how they express gratitude to the trees and to the forest, and how their basket making actually helps black ash trees thrive because it lets more light in from the canopy to the ground so that black ash saplings can get enough light to grow into big, tall trees. And, I'm looking at this teak that I'm just, chiseling away at, literally, and I don't know what forest it came from, but I'm so grateful that it was part of my boat. And unfortunately, there's no use for it anymore. It's at the end of its life. In the book, they use all of the little splinters even as kindling for fires, so literally nothing goes to waste. But I can't even use this teak for that, because it's just it's covered in sealant and goo and adhesive, and there's not much left to salvage. And so all I can do is be grateful to the tree that was probably cut the same year I was born to be part of this boat. And yeah, it's given me a different insight into the teak that's still on my boat. All of this, right? All of this. And it's going to change how I respect it and feel about it and care for it. I'll probably technically be caring for it the same way with, cleaning and brightening and polishing. but the relationship will be deeper. And so, this book, I know it's been out for a while, but I cannot recommend it enough. It is truly fantastic. That was a snippet from one chapter. It is a gem. I honestly think everybody should read this to rethink how we engage with the world around us. So let me know what you thought of the book if you've read it. Leave a comment. Thanks for watching.